Hello, retro gaming and home arcade enthusiasts. It's me, it's Michael B. Thank you so very much for watching. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Unico Nova Blast. Now, Unico's a name you probably remember from a couple years ago in the home arcade space with the popular Neo Geo MBSX. Well, it looks like Unico are back and possibly bigger and better than ever before with the Nova Blast. And I'm going to tell you more about it right after this. So that's right, guys. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Unico Nova Blast, and what that is a modern day candy cab complete with an LCD screen and plug and play options for everything from classic games to new options such as the Mister or Raspberry Pi. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. If this is your first time to the channel, you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, all that YouTube jazz. Like I mentioned earlier, you guys may be familiar with the Unico from the MBSX a couple years ago, but it looks like Unico are back with their second release in the home arcade space, and that is the Unico Nova Blast. Now, this is essentially a bar top with an optional base that replicates what a Candy Cab or Astro City Cab would have looked like back in the day. Now, we first learned about this product a couple of weeks ago, and you may remember a surprise showing of the Super Game Room dudes where myself, Patrick Dubs, and Detroit Love all got together to talk about the breaking news on the Unico Nova Blast Candy Cab and the first look at it, and we were all pretty interested. For those of you who don't know what a Candy Cab is, let me give you a little bit of history. So for those of you who follow 19K Fox, you may remember a while ago, 19K Fox bought a real arcade machine, a real Astro City arcade machine for his arcade. And it may seem a little bit weird because this is not an arcade that was predominantly known in North America. This is mostly a Japanese-style arcade cabinet that came out in the mid to late 90s. We didn't get a lot of them here, and if we did, it's not as well-known and recognized as what we're used to in the home arcade space, like the arcade replication that we get from Arcade 1-Up or the real arcades we typically see in North America. This was a sit-down cabinet primarily for shooters and fighters. So guys, thankfully Unico have provided a lot more detail on this unit. If you haven't already seen it, I'll go over it really quickly. But you can connect almost any JAMA-based arcade PCB. You can link up your PC, Android box, Raspberry Pi, Mister, or any array of retro games, or even integrate classic consoles like Dreamcast or Xbox 360. Basically, it should be relatively plug and play. One of the other things that you're going to want to know is this is not a toy arcade unit in the fact that it's all metal frame construction. It also has authentic SAMWA parts, 2 SAMWA joysticks, 8 SAMWA buttons per player. You're going to get a real arcade experience here. So it also features a JAMA Edge connector with assorted adapters, supports connectivity for nearly every PCBA, with plans for expanding accessory compatibility in the future. Cabinet includes controller button encoders that accept D input, X input, and SDL, and the big thing is the screen that's in it isn't a CRT like most old candy cabs. This is in fact a brand new Phoenix Series 26-inch LCD monitor that's going to have 14x40 by 1080p resolution in a 4:3 ratio. So that's very cool, offering crisp and clear visuals. So crafted from high quality sturdy steel. As I said, it was all metal frame construction, steel construction. Candy Cab guarantees durability, promising a long-lasting gaming experience. Additionally, the Candy Cab is designed to be adjustable in both horizontal and vertical orientations, which is amazing because if you can set it up to be horizontal for fighters, then turn it vertical for shooters, I mean, that's a dream come true. Base is equipped with a built-in coin mech, making it ideal for use in barcades and arcades, which is awesome, and where this also has a actual operator, I don't know what the term is called, I'm screwing up here, but you know, it can basically be a commercial product as well as an at-home product. Now, unfortunately, there hasn't been a lot of in-person coverage on the device so far. It's just specs and pictures to date. But luckily, our good friend Cool Toy did make it out to KC Retro, and Unico unfortunately made it very late into the convention. But Cool Toy did an excellent video on his first impressions of the Candy Cab and his time at KC Retro, which I'll leave a link to down in the description below. You can get a first-hand look at what the cab is like in person, and he also goes over some quick gameplay a little later on. They didn't have a lot of time, but you can see some people here playing some version of Contra here on the machine and get an idea of what this is actually going to be like in person. It looks like it's nice and wide, very similar to what a real Astro City cab would be. Speaking of which, I know Unico was probably thinking that people were going to be asking the exact same question, so they actually updated their Facebook page with a comparison towards the Astro City cab originally. So they've got a comparison of width, depth, height, and weight, and everything is comparable except when it comes down to the weight, because the Nova Blast is actually only 110.23 pounds compared to the weight of the Astro City Mini, 205 pounds. You have to think the majority of that is in that CRT. So Unico did unveil their pricing finally for this device today, so you can get the Nova Blast bar top, which we knew about actually yesterday. Just the bar top model, so that's the base offering, $999 US. They also sell the base for $299 if you want to pick it up later. They're also selling 2 arcade chairs for $249. Now you can also get a combo of the actual bar top and the base for $1,199. Now you can get a deluxe combo of the bar top, base, and 2-piece arcade chair for $1,425. For my money, seems like the best deal, and what I'd be interested in is, in fact, the combo bar top and base. I don't really know if I want the arcade chairs, and really you're only saving $25 on that combo compared to getting the arcade chairs after the fact, after you already bought combo number 1, so it's not really that much savings. So I know what most of you are thinking now. We're all in the home arcade space. We're used to buying things for $3.99, $4.99. When it gets more than that, we question, is it really worth it? Is this the right product for me? I don't know. I don't know if this is the right product for you. If you're an arcade one-up enthusiast, really you're probably looking for a cheaper reproduction of what a real arcade is that'll give you no muss, no fuss. You don't want to tinker with it. You don't want to do any modding. You just want to go out and buy something that's a facsimile of what gives you nostalgia and play it. This is not going to do that unless you're super nostalgic for, Japanese candy cabs. This is more so for multicade fans and real arcade enthusiasts, believe it or not, because this is not a toy replication. This is, in fact, essentially, this is a commercial product, believe it or not. Also keep in mind that this cabinet does not come with any games or any operating system. This is basically an empty cabinet, something similar to like a Rec Room Masters cab if you're familiar with that. It has harnesses and hookups for just about anything you can think to plug into it, but it does not come with anything. So you will have to supply either your old arcade PCBs or you will have to supply your own PC or Raspberry Pi. This comes with no games. So if you're wondering what a similar product would be in the home arcade space, well, that would be a Vuelix or a Chulix. I got a video playing here from my buddy Mike of All Trades. Mike recently picked up a Vuelix, and this was a custom one. Anyways, it has that 16:9 screen and plays modern to retro stuff. Obviously, the Astro City Mini is more designed towards retro gaming, plus it has that Astro City look to give it that retro feel. Now keep in mind, this is a product that should be suitable for a lot of people, but you may want to have some basic arcade knowledge if you intend to use it in that way. As you can see here, this could suit everybody from the casual arcade enthusiast that's going to hook up PCB to the people that actually have classic PCBs and classic JAMA boards that they can plug right in and use with their Nova Blast cabinets if they should so be interested. And here you can see they're playing a Neo Geo Kart King of Fighters 98 on the cabinet. It was as simple as that. they hooked up the jammer harness, and now they are rocking and rearing to go. Now, me personally, you know, I'm a big fan of seeing nostalgia involved with these products, especially what I remember from my youth growing up in North America. So I like to see the artwork. I like to see all that stuff on the cabinet. That's why I liked Arcade 1-Up so much for all these past years. So it may be surprising to hear from me that I'm actually really interested in this product. Personally, I love the concept of the 26-inch monitor. I mean, that thing looks gigantic. So many cool things you can do with that. The size and space of the control panel. And it just seems like a really, really cool fit for a multicade for, you know, shooters, because you can turn the screen in the vertical orientation, which is... And then for fighters, of course, because of the button configuration and the quality of the buttons. So I am pretty excited, but I mean, it is $1,199 US. So I mean, by the time that comes to Canada, that's going to be tough. And also keep in mind, shipping's not included for those orders in the US. I have heard a rumor that it's possibly coming to Canada through a retailer, so we may avoid some shipping there, which, you know, is a bit of a godsend. But still, it's a ton of money for a product that is awesome, is commercial quality, but still has no games included. Now, me personally, I'm not a modding expert, so I have to take that into consideration again. There might be a slight learning curve for somebody like me that doesn't know this stuff. So I am hoping that Unico does, in fact, you know, it would be great before pre-orders, but pre-orders start on the 20th, so I think that's a little unrealistic, but it would be great to see if they could send out some early prototype versions of this to some YouTubers in the community that know what they're doing. I obviously am not one of them, but, you know, they've worked with people in the past like Cool Toy, Retro Ralph. Those guys have an extensive knowledge of both home arcade products and real arcade products. I think those would be a good choice to test them out. So hopefully they can get something out to those guys, give us a little bit more information on how this product feels in person, what it feels like in their home, and the final actual unit of it. That'd be cool to see, and it'd be a little easier to, you know, make up our minds about dropping that kind of cash. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the Unico Nova Blast? Do you think this is a very cool product? Does it meet what you're looking for in a multicade home arcade product? Or is it something that just isn't in your nostalgia region, or you just don't get the price point? I mean, let's be honest, guys. It's a 26-inch screen, commercial grade products in a metal cabinet. You can't expect it to sell for the same price as like an Arcade 1-Up, right? Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time.